Hawaii governor says he expects some loss of life in wildfire catastrophe. Pentagon launches AI competition to solicit help securing computer systems. 11 dead after fire rips through France holiday home. 41 migrants die in shipwreck off Lampedusa. Car crashes into second floor of Pennsylvania home. Explosion at plant near Moscow injures at least 56. Hawaii governor says he expects some loss of life in wildfire catastrophe. Green said Wednesday he anticipates there will be casualties as a result of the wind-fueled wildfires scorching the islands. Heroic efforts by first responders have prevented many casualties from occurring, but some loss of life is expected, he said in a statement. Green called the severe weather a terrible disaster, noting the wildfires have spread widely because of Dora's winds and the region already had underlying drought conditions. Much of Lahaina on Maui has been destroyed and hundreds of local families have been displaced, he said. Green said he anticipates submitting a request for a presidential disaster declaration in the next 36 to 48 hours once the damage extent is assessed. 11 bodies have been found after a fire ripped through a holiday home hosting people with learning disabilities in eastern France. Nearly 80 firefighters were sent to the blaze in La Forge after emergency services were alerted at 6:30 local time on Wednesday. The fire has now been extinguished, but its cause is not yet clear. 17 people were evacuated from the building, with at least one person taken to hospital. French President Emmanuel Macron said his thoughts were with the victims and their families, and thanked the emergency services for responding to the tragedy. Initially, emergency services confirmed 9 people had died, while a search for the bodies of the 2 remaining missing people went on. The fire broke out near Winsenheim, close to the German border and about 70 kilometers, 50 miles, south of the city of Strasbourg. About 41 migrants have died in a shipwreck off the Italian island of Lampedusa, survivors told local media. A group of 4 people who survived the disaster told rescuers that they were on a boat that had set off from Sfax in Tunisia and sank on its way to Italy. The 4 survivors, originally from the Ivory Coast and Guinea, reached Lampedusa on Wednesday. More than 1,800 people have lost their lives so far this year in the crossing from North Africa to Europe. The survivors told rescuers that they were on a boat carrying 45 people, including 3 children. They said the boat, which was about 7 meters long, left Sfax on Thursday last week, but sank within hours after being hit by a big wave. Only 15 people are understood to have been wearing life jackets, but this apparently failed to save their lives. Car crashes into second floor of Pennsylvania home. A man drove his car into the second floor of a Pennsylvania home on Sunday, in what officials say was an intentional act. Charges are pending against the driver after police found a gray vehicle sticking out of the side of the house in the city of Lewistown. Officials have not said how exactly the vehicle made its way to the second floor. The pictures speak for themselves, a fire official said. Anywhere from 1 to 3 people were inside the home at the time of the crash but were not injured, according to Sam Baumgartner, an administrator at the Junction Fire Company, which assisted in the response to the crash. The driver was able to climb out onto the roof after the crash and was taken to the hospital with injuries, as Baumgartner said. At least 56 people were injured in an explosion at an industrial plant northeast of Moscow, officials said on Wednesday. The blast took place at Zabersk Optical and Mechanical Plant in the town of Sergei-Posed, state news agency TSS reported. The plant is a developer and manufacturer for optical and optoelectronic devices for the Russian military, law enforcement agencies, industry, and healthcare. In total, 56 people asked for medical help. 30 are now in the hospital, 6 of them are in intensive care. Andrei Vorobyev, governor of the Moscow region, said in a Telegram post. Russia's investigative committee has opened a criminal investigation into the incident. Pentagon launches AI competition to solicit help securing computer systems. The Pentagon agency that funds moonshot technology innovations is hosting a 2-year competition for artificial intelligence experts to create new ways to bolster the world's cybersecurity. U.S. organizations have been battered by hackers in recent years. During the Biden administration alone, federal agencies have been repeatedly breached by hackers allegedly working for Chinese and Russian intelligence services. Perry Adams, the DARPA program manager overseeing the competition, said that the competition aimed to help cybersecurity experts defend against a growing landscape of creative hackers. Stay up to date with the latest news and never miss a beat. hit that subscribe button and join our community of informed viewers.